Hello and welcome to NTA Nationwide. I am Ifoma Ojinta and we apologize for starting a little behind schedule. Now, moving on, the new Chairman, Police Service Commission, Dr. Solomon Arase, has been sworn in. Also sworn in are 5 newly appointed members of the Code of Conduct Bureau. President Muhammadu Buhari performed the ceremony before the commencement of the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
The new chairman, Police Service Commission, Solomon Arase, retired in 2016 as the 18th Inspector General of Police. While in service, the PhD holder in law was at various times head of the Criminal Intelligence and Investigations Department, Force Intelligence Bureau, and Secretary, Presidential Committee on Nigeria Police Reforms. The former IGP also served as member of the Committee on the Prevention of Torture based in Geneva, Switzerland, that developed a universal protocol on investigative techniques.
We will ensure that we'll continue to put our international and local expertise at their disposal. I will be strong on training, retraining in different areas, especially alternative dispute resolutions. And the issue of discipline will be taken very seriously. I will not want a situation where civil transactions are criminalized. So anybody, any officer who, steps out of the line, there are going to be consequences. When you respect people who work for you, even your dogs, when they see you, they wag their tails. Sure. So we must take the interest of the Nigerian police officers into consideration, and we will douse the issue of corruption.
President Buhari also swore in 5 members to fill existing vacancies in the Code of Conduct Bureau in exercise of powers conferred on him by Section 154, Subsection 1 of the Nigerian Constitution. They include Murtala Aliyu Kankiya from Katsina State, Zephania Ishaku Bulus Nasarawa, and Farouk Umar, Yobe State. Others are Taufik Olawole Abdusalam from Ondo State and Professor Juwairiya Badamasiyu, Kogi State. The chairman, Code of Conduct Bureau, Professor Isa Muhammad, witnessed the ceremony.
Every one of these members is going to have a responsibility to discharge. It's going to have its own assignment. So by this, we are not going to expect any gap in the discharge of our duty or mandate as a pioneer anti-corruption agency. There are people that are experienced and well-versed. So what we are expecting of them is delivery, service delivery.
And at the instance of the president, a moment of silence was observed by the Federal Executive Council in honor of the late General Oladipo Dia. General Dia, who died recently at the age of 78, was Chief of General Staff and Vice Chairman, Provisional Ruling Council under the Abacha military regime. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Governor Babagana Umara Zulum has expressed formal appreciation of the government and people of Borno State to President Muhammadu Buhari for delivering on his promise to restore peace and hope in governance by virtually bringing to an end the reign of terror in the state. This was during a thank you visit to the State House, from where Adamu Sambo again reports.
Governor Babagana Umara Zulum had told President Buhari that nearly 40,000 Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters have renounced acts of terrorism in favor of the peace-building initiatives. Efforts, he said, have now been intensified on the repatriation, return, and resettlement of internally displaced persons. And on this, he thanked the president for the release of 15 billion naira to the Presidential Committee saddled with the responsibility of carrying out the exercise headed by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. The governor is also here to formally appreciate President Buhari for his leadership, sincerity of purpose, guidance and support that led to the conduct of free, fair, transparent and credible 2023 elections. He described the emergence of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president-elect and their son Kashim Shettima as vice president-elect as the reaffirmation of trust and confidence in the governing APC's efforts at sustaining the upward trajectory in critical sectors of Nigeria's economy. When inaugurated, the Tinubu-Shettima administration, he promised, will not only build on such worthy legacies, but also initiate new policies, programs and projects for sustainable future of the country. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has felicitated with President-elect Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the occasion of his 71st birthday, praying God to grant him more wisdom and strength in the years to come. In a statement personally signed by the Vice President, he stated that the birthday occasion is unique as it occurs when the celebrant is preparing to take on his most significant assignment yet as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Vice President Osinbajo, on behalf of himself and his family, prayed that the Lord will help the President-elect in the assignment and give him good health, strength and wisdom to serve the people and the nation excellently. And the All Progressives Congress has joined well-wishers to rejoice with the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the occasion of his 71st birthday anniversary. The APC, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka, described the President-elect as an inimitable statesman and Democrat with an unyielding quest for a freer, just and vibrant Nigeria who has built bridges that transcend ethnic, religious and political boundaries. The statement adds that his message of renewed hope was heard by the citizens who voted massively to elect him as the next president in the just concluded election. The APC National Working Committee, on behalf of members and stakeholders of the party, prayed God to grant the president-elect more years in excellent health and divine wisdom in his illustrious service to the country and humanity. And now to legislative matters. The House of Representatives has passed for second reading the bill seeking to repeal and enact the Standardization of Nigeria Act with provisions to increase penalties for offences relating to standardization of products in Nigeria. The bill contains provision to criminalize the production, manufacturing, importation, distribution, display and advertising of substandard products. Persons who convicted will be imposed a custodial sentence of 5 years without an option of fine. The bill also mandates the organization to publish annually products deemed as life-endangering and proposes a 50% increment across board for all fines. The power granted to the organization in the old Act to destroy hazardous goods without order of court has, however, been expunged in the new legislation. Meanwhile, stakeholders in the education sector are calling for a holistic approach to address problems associated with the Almajiri education and other out-of-school children in Nigeria. This was during a public hearing on a bill for an act to establish a National Commission for Almajiri Education and Out-of-School Children by the House of Representatives. National Assembly correspondent Vivian Idepefo reports.
The bill also seeks to provide a multimodal system of education to tackle illiteracy, promote skill acquisition and entrepreneurship programs. This will therefore reduce poverty, delinquency and destitution in Nigeria.
Education expands our view of the world and allows us to recognize that despite differences of tribe and language, religion and creed, we are all together in the grand tapestry of humanity.
There are problems, there are contradictions. We try to politicize everything, but this has no relationship to politics. The only answer to illiteracy, ignorance, is education. And if you don't offer it to the children, it's a criminal offense.
Stakeholders are also worried over the rising number of what they described as children in peculiar situation and its attendant negative consequences.
Since we now focus on dealing with the problem, let us do it sincerely and do it really in a developmental way so that it will impact and it will address the problem.
We need to look at it so that we give responsibility, that we can understand, that we can measure whether we are doing something. The number is growing if we do nothing.
Education is critical, but these children have been exposed to much more than children who come from homes.
If you have agreed, even if you cannot spend a federal government kobo penny, give us the enabling environment. We will use WACAP to form the Almajiri system and to deal with out of children.
Other contributors were emphatic about the mental health of the affected demography. From the National Assembly, Vivian Idekbefo, NTA News.
We're not done with the birthday celebration of the president-elect, as the president-elect himself, Bola Tinubu, is leveraging his birthday anniversary to reiterate his commitment to the great and important task of rebuilding the nation and renewing the hope of the Nigerian people. The president-elect, in a statement he signed personally, appreciated people's goodwill towards him on the occasion of his 71st birthday and thanked God Almighty for the gifts of life. Tinubu acknowledged that he has already been given the greatest gift through the support he got at the election leading to his emergence as the president-elect, a mandate he solemnly promised not to squander. He recalls his campaign promises, reiterating that they are not mere words or cynically professed to win support, but a representation of a bond that binds him to the task of creating a better Nigeria for the benefit of every Nigerian, regardless of the candidates they voted for. The president-elect said he has prepared for this moment all his life and will not fail to lead an administration that will further ensure a country Nigerians will be proud of. And to other news, with approval given by President Muhammadu Buhari and paperwork in progress to finalize the taking over of the Muhammadu Buhari International Cargo Airport Damaturu by the federal government, the people and government of Yobe State, especially the host community, have continued to express their appreciation on the development. Yunusa Suleiman reports that the community have also indicated readiness to warmly welcome all manner of people that will come either as workers or guests at the cargo airport.
The 5th of January 2023 will forever remain indelible in minds of Yobians, as it was the day President Muhammadu Buhari was in the state to inaugurate landmark projects including the Cargo International Airport Damaturu, named after him. The inauguration of the airport has placed Yobe State on the global aviation map, where import and exports of goods and services can be made with ease, thereby attracting and encouraging direct foreign investment into the state. During the banquet organized to honor the president, Governor Memala Buni forwarded a request appealing to federal government to take over the gigantic project and made some refunds to the state for the execution of more life-touching projects. This request has since been granted approval by the federal government, and the government and people of Yobe State have continued to express their joy on the development.
We
can even locate our houses and give it to them because we are very, very happy indeed.
It will bring a great enrollment to our pupils in the community. For us to say it, if we can be able to maintain or continue to manage this airport, I think it's millions of naira.
Yobe State government has invested more than 37 billion naira on the cargo airport in Damaturu. Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
It's now time to join Awal Yusuf in our Lagos Network Center for more reports from that zone. Hello, Awal.
We'll begin with an update on the Balogun Market fire incidents. Traders affected by the fire outbreak at Balogun Market have begun to salvage what is left of their wares from Tuesday morning fire incident. Larry Belay, who visited the market, has an update.
Business activities have started in earnest in Balogun Market, but for victims of the fire incident at 35 Bajuma Street, there's still a spiral of smoke from their burnt shops, while the traders are still contemplating their next step of action. Some express their frustration.
And if you look behind me, you'll see traders, shop owners trying to do something about the remaining things that they have in the shop before the fire incident. I have with me here Mr. Tenio. What is the challenge right now? I heard that to even have access to shops is an uphill task.
Being the community chairman, I and my executive have intervened to look into how we are going to make it possible that everybody should come back to their business. We are on ground to clear all the rebels and make sure everywhere is being okay for each and every one of them to get back to their normal business.
And if you watch here like this now, you see that there are kick lamps on the street, which is not supposed to be. And even these kick lamps are not here, there'll be a vehicle movement for firefighters to come in and fight the fire for us. But since there was no vehicle movement, they couldn't come in. They were only fighting for the front, where the fire is actually much at the back.
For the traders, it's time to pick up from what it's left and move into their shops to start their business. In Lagos, Larry Belay, NTA News.
Now to politics. The elections are over and winners have been announced in most states. As expected, some are aggrieved. Analysts say peace is essential in fostering socio-economic development, especially in light of the fact that a peace accord was signed by parties prior to the 2023 general elections. Hingino John Adams has more.
During elections, the polity is typically inundated with a variety of divergent viewpoints, from the campaigns at the primaries to appearance of party flag bearers, voting, and even declaration of winners. The cycle of the 2023 general elections in Nigeria was not different. Debates on opposing issues and ideologies were intense. Another issue was the use of hate speech and ethnic slurs by some candidates' supporters.
The only thing that can bring us together is for the leaders to start preaching unity everywhere.
It's where there is peace that you can plan a way forward. So I believe the peace of Nigeria is really much important, very, very much right now.
All these heated up the polity, creating tension. Long-time relationships were even destroyed. With the election process almost over in all states, life will definitely continue in spite of everything. Experts say mending fences at this point is priceless, as it has direct impact on every sector of the nation and beyond.
Let's put aside every form of sentiment, every form of tribal bigotry, every form of discrepancies that this election brought to us as a people. Because we need unity. Without unity, there will be no development.
We should learn to love each other. We want a peaceful country.
These respondents are calling on both winners and candidates who have lost, including those that intend to take legal actions, to collaborate and work together for the common good of society in order to promote the nation's socio-economic development. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Nationwide. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Nationwide continues with Kemi in Ibadan Network Center after the break.
To Ibadan. The National Commissioner of INEC in charge of Ekiti, Oyo and Lagos states, Sam Olumekun, has emphasized the commitment of the Commission to continue to conduct free, fair and credible elections in the country, no matter the odds. He made this known during the presentation of certificates of return to Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, his deputy and 32 elected State House of Assembly members. Kayode Oladoshu has the details.
Governor Seyi Makinde, his deputy and House of Assembly members-elect received certificate of return to run the affairs of Oyo State for the next 4 years. Addressing the gathering, Governor Makinde affirmed that his victory at the polls was made possible by God and the people of Oyo State. He promised to intensify on the existing achievements to better deliver dividends of democracy to the people.
Now is for us to face the task of governance. It's for us to face this task of building a state that will be an envy for all the states in Nigeria.
On its part, INEC reiterated commitment to its role in electioneering process in the country.
INEC is fully committed to the conduct of standard democratic elections in Nigeria. And of course, whether we like it or not, that is the way to go.
Governor Seyi Makinde is now the 8th elected governor of Oyo State and second to run the administration of the state for the second term in office. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
A sensitization program for stakeholders in the electrical and electronics value chain to improve standardization of electrical equipment in the country has been held in Ibadan. Kayode Oladoshu was at the program and again reports.
Electrical components are important to building construction. It is the pillar that illuminates the light rays for the constructed building. But when substandard electrical products are procured for use, this places dangers on the lives of the occupants of such buildings. Changing this narrative informs a sensitization gathering seeks to combat substandard electrical products.
Government has created an agency to standardize and regulate the market in terms of electronics. So if you want to transact business in electronics, go to them.
To have an event like this to sensitize the stakeholders, to be able to let them know what their responsibility in covering this substandard electronics.
The forum was an avenue to chart a way for the regulatory body to perform its duty of quality assurance and quality control effectively.
If we have good products and we sell good products, it means that we meet the needs of the people.
You want to see a quality product and you're going for a cheaper product, you should have yourself to blame. But that is not to encourage sales of, low quality items.
Desensitization is expected to deepen the collaboration between regulatory body and manufacturers of electrical products for desired satisfaction to consumers through standardized products. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
And that's it. Back to you for more reports on Nationwide.
Thank you, Kemi. Now, the federal government has restated its commitment to making the process of applying and obtaining the Nigerian passport seamless. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, stated this while inaugurating a passport office and production center of the Nigerian Immigration Service at Ilesha, Osun State. Femi Afariogun has the details.
This new Ilesha Passport Front Office, inaugurated by Minister of Interior Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, was born out of the determination of President Buhari's administration to meet up with the surge in the number of passport applications. Aregbesola appealed to new applicants of Nigerian passports to be wary of scammers.
It is a non-judgmental center, meaning that no decision will be made here. But the application and biometric data of the applicants will be collected and forwarded to the Nigerian Immigration Service for processing and issuing. It is important also that they apply by themselves at the Nigerian Immigration Service portal, which is online, and not through touts and unscrupulous officials, which often bring heartaches.
The production center in Ilesha is unique in the sense that it's the only center where state capitals will be producing their passports.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke, who described the Minister of Interior as a worthy son of the state, pledged to support the ministry.
I assure the Nigerian Immigration Service of our government readiness to support for the service in the discharge of his mandate.
Similar passport front offices spread across the country, and Nigeria missions abroad have been opened where enhanced passports are being rolled out. From Ilesha, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Nigeria is signatory to the Anti-Personnel Mine Ban Convention, yet the prevalence of all kinds of explosive ordinances still persists. To help curb the dangers associated with landmines, a delegation from the Geneva International Center for Humanitarian Demining are in Nigeria on a visit to the Humanitarian Mine Action Committee to offer durable solutions. Ruth Agwele reports.
Threats to explosive ordinances like mines have become a part of existence for most communities in the Northeast, who have become victims of landmines buried in the ground as a result of insurgency. Taking action and protecting local population from such threats is the reason the National Humanitarian Mine Action Committee was set up. Based on its review, at least one person is being killed daily in the Northeast region. These delegations from Geneva International Center for Humanitarian Demining are in Nigeria to lend support to save lives.
It's not just the physical trauma, it's the damage it does to the psyche. It incapacitates both physically and psychologically. So it's something that we have a responsibility to contain, because it's a new area to everybody. So we need the expertise. What do we need to do? How do we need to expedite this?
We have made Nigeria a priority country for our next 4 years in our strategy, and I'd very much be delighted to hear more and learn more over the next 2 or 3 days to maybe come up with a bit of a plan for how we can best support you.
On the flip side, the delegation also led its team to the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities to find out how well the rights of some of these victims who are now living with disabilities are being protected.
We'll work with the committee to collect victims' data and also seek the assistance of your organization in victims' assistance activities such as the local capacity production of prostheses and orthotics equipment, especially in the area of assistive devices.
These strategic partnerships is expected to chart a way forward by restoring hope to affected communities, enhance coordination, control, and priority setting of mine action in Nigeria. In Abuja, Ruth Agwele, NTA News.
And to politics, as the issue associated with post-election continue to unfold, the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, has called for understanding and patriotism to consolidate the gains of democracy and ensure smooth transition in May 29. The council gave the advice at a meeting in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Many believe the task ahead is enormous but surmountable, with all coming together in unity and common purpose to build a better and greater Nigeria. It is also time to demonstrate that democracy has come to stay in Nigeria and show the world that Nigerians respect the rule of law, the constitution, good governance and due process.
I'm looking for that day when we will have a conference of politicians in which we will all agree that we will abide by the results of elections and we will not do anything. We will not do anything to manipulate the system.
For IPAC, periodic election is critical for sustainable democracy as power resides with the people.
The ballot is sacrosanct. The will and mandate of the people freely given to a political party must be respected. This is the beauty of election and representative governance.
As the umbrella body of all registered political parties, IPAC will always champion democratic ideals and ensuring an environment conducive for successful elections, peaceful electoral process in Nigeria, and intervene in crucial national issues to save the nation's democracy. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
There is no gainsaying the fact that peace is pivotal for all-round development and progress of every nation. This is why opinion leaders in Ebonyi State and beyond have continued to sue for peace after the 2023 general elections. Fortunate also reports on efforts to enthrone peace in the nation, especially among youths in the southeast zone.
Oftentimes, when desires are not achieved in most societies, citizens resort to violence as a means of expressing their grievances. These agitations most times escalate if unchecked and throw the entire society into dilemma. This is why a civil society group known as Peace for Free Initiative organized a one-day lecture series on the theme Sustainable Peace Beyond Elections for Youths in the Southeast Nigeria.
We need peace that will enable us usher in development for our country and our communities. That is the essence of the Peace for Free lecture series.
We are being proactive as a civil society organization to move in to talk to people, to tell them that whatever happens, elections or no election, there will always be Nigeria.
While noting that peace is not the absence of conflict, participants and stakeholders agree that respect for human rights, indiscrimination, among other factors, are the panacea for a peaceful nation.
If we riot and destroy all these things, we will still sit to pay for it. In fact, we are adding more pain to ourselves. But if we sit down, talk about it, we'll find a better, peaceful way of resolving.
I'm happy, and I want to say that peace is the first thing that somebody needs to have in either his community, family, and society.
With the elections almost concluded, participants are calling on Nigerians to work with those elected for peace and development of the nation. In Abakaliki, Fortunate Ozo, NTA News.
And for more reports on Nationwide, let's join Felicia in our Jos Network Center. Good to see you, Felicia.
Glad to see you too, Ifoma. Welcome to Jos. Residents of Jos are expressing joy over the progress made on the British-American flyover and Lamingo Road dualization, which they say have brought relief to them. Priscilla Grumnan gives an update on the ongoing projects.
Plateau State government embarked on the project 12 months ago to ease traffic along the major roads and boost socio-economic activities in the city center. At the moment, significant progress is being made on the project by the contracting firm as it is nearing completion.
I want to appreciate the governor who took it upon himself to build up this beautiful bridge.
When government do things that are good, we should appreciate them.
One day I was almost to sleep here on the queue when I was coming.
Our camera lenses captured men at work at the Lamingo Junction stretch of the Dual Road, the Dogon Karfe Road leading to the city center, as well as progress of work on the dual bridges.
The general feelings of some residents of Jos is that the British-American flyover is one of the best projects that has been embarked upon by Governor Simon Lalong's administration. This is because the project has helped in easing the traffic that was being experienced on these same spots.
For the state government, the projects will no doubt bring relief to motorists.
The project was meant to make people happy. It was meant to ease a lot of stress. It was meant to ease transportation. It was meant to ease doing businesses. It was meant to, it's like an arterial road between the north and the south of the country.
Work on the dualization of Lamingo Junction Road is also progressing steadily. The project on completion is expected to be inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari in Jos. Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
Professor Felicia Onyemo Agbo of Science Education, University of Jos, is calling for strong international collaboration to tackle educational challenges across the globe. This was during the 104th inaugural lecture at the University of Jos. Ruth Stephen Hoke has details.
The 104th inaugural lecture has Breaking the Barriers to Science Teaching and Learning Through Interpersonal Communication as its theme. The professor describes education as a veritable tool that enhances people's confidence in their ability to play a significant role in human development. Professor Felicia Abu, who highlighted the benefits of interpersonal communication, challenges to learning science, types of classroom communication, suggested the need for inclusive science classroom to make significant impact on the people, while science teaching should not be restricted to classroom alone.
We have a lot of contemporary strategies that we can adopt to make science easier. Now that we have ICT, we have other technological gadgets that will help us. We integrate them into the teaching to make science learning very, very enjoyable and easier. So I foresee that in future, science is going to be enjoyable and well learned.
The professor of science education also recommended that communication in science classes should be teacher-student-teacher for positive transmission of emotional skills among participants. In Jos, Ruth Stephen Hockey, NTA News.
And that's the much we have for you from Jos. Ifoma is back to you in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Felicia. We will take a break now, and Nationwide continues shortly. Please stay. Thanks for staying. It's now time to join Salamatu in our Kaduna Network Center for more stories on Nationwide. Over to you, Salamatu.
Former and glad to have you join us here. Good evening. Normalcy is beginning to return in the banking sector following the availability of cash at the automated teller machines across Kaduna metropolis. Adamu Sunday reports that customers can now withdraw over the counter even though there are challenges that need to be addressed.
The large crowd at the banking premises experienced in the past is now giving way due to the availability of cash at automated teller machines and in the banking halls. Yahaya Mohammed, a businessman, is full of joy, having been able to withdraw the sum of 40,000 naira at the ATM. He says this is the first time he's holding a large sum of money since the beginning of the cash crunch.
I heard the banks are paying customers up to the sum of 500,000 naira inside the bank.
Joan Bodam and others, however, explained that the issue of network fluctuations while making transactions is frustrating. They also say the financial disparity customers face in interbanking services is another factor that may render the CBN effort worthless if not taken care of. Out of curiosity, I tried to make transaction with my smart card in one of the ATMs I'm not banking with, but was not paid.
There's no money like that, but at least it's better than previous months. We are coping and we are hoping for the best.
If you want to deposit, there is no problem with the deposit. But when you come to withdraw, there is problem in the network. Probably today they say there is cash. We are queuing here. There is cash. But why will it take more than 1 hour for 3 people to withdraw money from the ATM? What is the difference between the case of no cash and this one?
Most of the customers using other ATMs of other banks are getting money here now presently. But we that were using ATM bank, we are not getting cash.
Despite the availability of cash in ATMs across Kaduna Metropolis, customers are of the view that the Central Bank of Nigeria needs to address all bottlenecks that are preventing them from having access to their money to enable the economy and businesses bounce back. Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
Nigerian Army is training its personnel to advance rudiment on leadership skills to fill the gap between soldiers and senior officers in training. Suleiman Regachkun reports that the General Officer commanding 1 Division, Nigerian Army, Major Tawhid Lagbaja, unveiled the training on behalf of the Chief of the Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya.
They are senior non-commissioned officers drawn from army formations under the 1 Division Nigerian Army area of responsibility. Aim of the 1-week course is to speed the leadership skills between subalterns and the young soldiers. Chief of the Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya in a message said the package is deliberately designed to enhance creativity, critical thinking and development in all strata of operations of the Nigerian Army.
Your ability to think fast and exercise command and control of troops placed under you is paramount to the success, growth, and development of the Nigerian Army.
Upon completion, the course is among other benefits expected to upscale the leadership skills of the senior non-commissioned officers to enable them operate in tandem with the doctrine of the Nigerian Army. Sulema Rigachikun, NTA News.
And that concludes our package from Kaduna. Back to you, Informa.
Thank you, Salamatu. The Nigeria Police Force has condemned the actions of one Habib Okikiola, popularly known as Portable. A statement by the force criticized the action of the singer in a viral video where he was seen exhibiting irrational behavior and hurling insults at police officers carrying out their legal duty, an action which is criminal and punishable by the criminal laws of Nigeria. The force says it will take all necessary steps to investigate his actions and ensure that he is prosecuted for any criminal activity he may have committed. Similarly, the police assures that it will not condone any unruly acts, assault or attack on its officers who are on lawful duty. Global digitization has brought on its wings a major issue: cyber crimes. To tackle this squarely, the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Ali Pantami, is increasing awareness on cyber threats and building the capacity of digital economy key players to counteract such threats. Chimdema Ndubisi will tell us more.
Habib works as an information communication technician in a cyber cafe. On a daily basis, not less than 20 persons access the internet and other ICT facilities there, opening the center up for cyber vulnerabilities. But he's not leaving anything to chance.
We make sure that we have an internet security on our systems, and those internet security protect some of those malwares that pop up from the system to avoid people from going to some certain sites.
Africa Cybersecurity Report states that cyber attacks in Africa increased by 300% in 2022 in the face of digital economic growth predicted by the World Bank to be worth $180 billion by 2025. This could be jeopardized if businesses and organizations do not take precautionary measures the way Habib's cyber cafe has.
In one or two instances where the attackers attack certain websites of government institutions, but not that of INEC. Two institutions of government. They snapped the picture immediately and forwarded to me. Within 5 to 7 minutes, they recovered the two websites. One of them is within the legal institutions, and the other one within the executive arm of government.
Nigeria is leading the cybersecurity, and to make sure it is securing the national priorities in cyberspace.
The nation's digital economy global rating is currently top-notch, and to consolidate on this growth, influencers in the private and public digital space are learning latest global cyber attack trends and upgrading their counter-attack skills. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
The Universal Basic Education Commission is working out modalities on how to re-inculcate moral values in the basic education subsector. Stakeholders joined from different fields are meeting in a two-day workshop to discuss modalities. Education correspondent Abdul Malik Hassan reports.
Pupils and students in basic education institutions have indulged in bad habits.
The loss of moral values in basic education is the focus here. It is believed that students of basic education age engaged more in social vices and have lost morals, which is now affecting their educational career and being nuisance to the society.
If we neglect this particular subsector of our system, at the end of the day, it leads to so many problems. But the neglect is not just in the area of teaching and learning, but also of the development of that particular child. The moral upbringing that helps these children to become responsible human beings in the first place, and responsible citizens. So ensuring that
here in this hall, ideas are shared on how to reposition their minds. Poor parental care, some teachers' unfriendly behavior, and poverty are some of the issues identified.
There is need for parents to be alive to our responsibility, to sensitize the parent on this responsibility for moral regeneration, to foster cooperation between the home and the school system. Now, religious education is also very important.
The deliberations here will last for 2 days, and hopefully a common ground would be reached on how to effectively implement these ideas expected to impact the basic educational sector positively. Abdul Malik Hassan, NTA News.
Robust and concerted efforts must be launched in Africa, especially in Nigeria, to bridge gender inequality, which impedes development and prevents the country from reaping full benefits of demographic dividends. This is the thrust of deliberations at a national dialogue on education issues organized by the Ministry of Education and Knowledge and Innovation Exchange Africa 19 Hub, a body that provides exchange of ideas in improving education among 19 Anglophone countries in Africa. The forum, with the theme Meeting Challenge in Education, Achieving Equality in and Through Education and Leaving No One Behind, believes women account about half of adult population but earn less than their male counterparts due to lack of education and other requirements, which threatens per capita national wealth.
A holistic program of action, including creating an enabling policy environment for data generation, gender equality and inclusive education.
If you make girls finish secondary school, if you reduce child marriage, if you reduce early childbearing, that reduction also in gender inequality is going to reduce the fertility rate, and that is going to reduce the population growth, and that is going to make your national wealth per capita go up.
The forum believes both sexes should be given proportionate attention so that the men will not be relegated and eventually become dependent on educated women that can portend another societal danger. Nigeria can become a more productive country by providing the right infrastructure, training and cybersecurity for information communication technology to thrive. An information technology expert, Yusuf Kazauri, harped on these factors when presenting the 7th Foundation Lecture of the National Productivity Center. Joseph Watson reports.
Riding on digital technology, the global community is said to be moving on an unprecedented speed, disrupting labor markets with new tools, knowledge and job opportunities. With the digital space taking over almost every aspect of economic development, countries with advantages in ICT are reported to be making progress in production.
IT enables you to digitize a lot of your processes. And when you digitize your processes, you are able to have access to information quicker. You're able to do traditional repetitive activities much faster. So IT in itself creates so much convenience. Everything.
It is a window Nigeria is also leveraging on, explaining why the National Productivity Center pegs its 7th Foundation Lecture, Productive Improvement in the Developing Economy, the IT approach.
The fallout of the COVID-19 is the increased use of IT. And we believe that with proper management, development in the IT world will improve. And if that improves, it has the tendency and the capacity to improve the productivity of both individuals and organizations.
We have not properly engaged our youths in productive ventures. As a matter of fact, it is our advocacy that we need a complete ethical and attitudinal change towards productivity.
National Bureau of Statistics report shows ICT is one of the fastest growing sectors in Nigeria, contributing 16.51% to the country's GDP in 2022. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
And with that, we conclude Nationwide for today. Thank you for watching. And remember to stand with the NTA in the campaign against rape and rapists. Bye for now.